Okay, so we're sharp at 6, and I think we are good to begin today's session. Namaste, everyone. My name is Ishita. I'm from Team Wellcure, and I invite you all to this free masterclass. We hope that you're really, really excited to learn more about vegan, gluten-free, and healthy baking. So just a few points before we begin so that we have a smooth running session. We have disabled the microphones. In case you have any technical difficulties, please let us know via the chat section. We'll be keeping it open for some time. Also, we would like you to pay complete attention to today's session. So that you don't have any major doubts towards the end, you don't miss out on anything important. However, if you do have any doubts, we will be sharing a Google form link with you in the chat, and please use that to put in your questions, and we will take them up towards the end of today's session. We would also request you to keep your questions focused based on the topic that we'll be covering today. Anything that's out of scope, we may not be able to take that up. And lots of interesting information, very useful information will be shared. So please feel free to take down notes and keep it for reference. And also, we would request you to keep your webcams off during the session so that there is no distraction. To those of you who are new to our platform, I would like to quickly take you through Wellcure's initiative. So Wellcure is a digital natural healing platform where we regularly conduct events, health workshops related to natural healing, natural living. On the website, you'll find some really interesting blogs which are basically, targeted towards educating you more about what it is, how to use the different elements of nature towards healing and towards living a more natural lifestyle. And in fact, we have some very inspirational stories of people who have reversed very chronic conditions just by switching to a more natural lifestyle. If this is something that interests you, please do check out the website www.wellcure.com. You can also check out the app. We also have a repository of recipes, oil-free, dairy-free, some of them even gluten-free, all of them following the plant-based, philosophy. So there are more than 1,000 recipes there on the website. So please feel free to check that out as well. All right, so coming to today's session, it's a very interesting one, and we hope that you get to learn a lot and all your questions are answered. We'll be covering what is conventional baking and how it is different from plant-based baking. We'll be going through some of the key principles of plant-based baking. And also what it is, what do we mean by gluten-free baking. We'll also be covering two interesting recipe demos. One is of the whole wheat baguette, and the other one is a gluten-free one, which is zucchini breakfast loaf. All right, and we'll also be taking up questions. So please keep dropping them. We've already shared the link, right? And you can use that Google form link and do definitely put in questions if you have any. All right. So now, coming to today's program expert. So I'm really, really happy to introduce you all to Priya. Priya is a plant-based food, health, and fitness enthusiast, and she's been among the top 40 of MasterChef India season 6. She has her own bakery, which is Melted Down, where she provides plant-based, gluten-free, refined sugar-free, and refined flour-free confectionery. And she's also curated, plant-based recipe ebooks. We're really, really happy to have you here, Priya, with us. And I'm sure everyone's really excited and looking forward to know more from you about plant-based baking and also the recipes. All right, so I'm going to hand the session to you now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ishita. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. It's such a pleasure to see so many of y'all. So like Ishita said, I'm Priya. Priya Vijan. I'm based out of Bangalore, guys. Like, just in case, you know, that's a common question I get asked, that which city am I in? I am in Bangalore, Karnataka. Okay, so I have been working on plant-based food baking from the past 2 years. Okay, just because I had a chronic cold and a migraine, and that's how I reversed by turning plant-based. I gave up dairy. I was a vegetarian. I gave up dairy, started eating more cleaner food. It took a while to transition. And while I was researching for alternatives, you know, that's when I decided that I'm going to teach what I'm actually researching. And that's how the whole process of, you know, whatever I ate and whatever I eat, I tend to share, because I'm sure there are a lot of people who are sailing in the same boat. Okay. We are talking about plant-based. Now, what is the Okay, guys, we are going to stick to questions of what we want, and rest anything if you want to address, you know, you can check with me on Instagram. I'm with the same name. Okay. Today, I'm just going to talk about the session, right? So what is plant-based baking? First of all, lot of questions around it. Is plant-based, do I mean vegan? Okay, a lot of things like that come up. Plant-based and vegan lifestyle are two different, with a very minor line in between. Okay, a very thin line to differentiate. Plant-based baking is a more plant-based diet is more of a holistic health approach, and it focuses more primarily on health. Yes, all the other things of being vegan automatically get attached to it. And now, what is veganism? Veganism is more of a lifestyle approach where, you know, a lot of people turn vegan because of animal cruelty. Okay. But in all, a plant-based diet, being vegan, both contribute to the environment equally. Okay. But in plant-based, we focus primarily on health, how you can reverse a lot of your ailments. And by plant-based, I mean clean food, not eating processed food. Okay, eating as clean as possible. Maida, margarine, all these are a part of plant-based. But what, Ishita, I guess there's some pop-ups that are coming on the screen. Can you just turn that off? Just like I don't know how is if you can turn that thing off.
Is it the chat?
I guess maybe the, you know, it's buzzing too much back to back.
No, it's not on chat. I don't know. It must be something else. Anyway, we'll just cross check.
Yeah, because it's slightly distracting. So can you just go to the next slide, Ishita? Okay, yeah. So what is plant-based baking? It's a holistic health approach, considering where we would consider food as medicine. Primarily, the food obtained is from nuts, seeds, grains, legumes, fruits, and vegetables. Okay, and it avoids consumption of dairy or any animal source for ingredients. Okay, now coming that why would we avoid dairy? Okay, one, dairy is the dairy and animal source, like your meat, is the only way that you get cholesterol in your body. Okay, our body naturally produces cholesterol. The cholesterol that comes from dairy and any other meat ingredient is basically highly toxic. Okay, the first idea is to eliminate dairy and any meat so that you can cut down on the bad cholesterol. And it focuses on not consuming highly processed ingredients. That means you're not eating your maida, you're not eating your margarine, you're not having your aerated drinks. All these are vegan, but I wouldn't consider them as plant-based. Okay. And of course, you don't want to eat food that's filled with chemicals and preservatives. See, lot of brands that are there in the market lately that are sold off shelves. say any of your plant milk, your almond milk, soya milk, which has shelf life of close to 6 to 8 months. But ideally, anything fresh cannot have a shelf life that long. Okay, so you want to keep all that in mind and consume food as natural as possible and closest to nature. Next, Krishna. So now what's the difference between conventional baking and plant-based baking? First, coming to the fats, mostly in the conventional baking, we mostly use saturated fats, that is mostly the butter, cream. When it comes to plant-based baking, we are mostly using PUFAs and MUFAs. Basically, it's cold pressed oils, nut butters, coconut oil. Okay. And then coming to the flours, in conventional baking, ideally maida is used. But when we're considering plant-based baking, we're using whole wheat grains or millet grains, okay, as whole, just ground and used. And when it's coming to the sweetening agent, in conventional baking, we are mostly using white sugar. So what is wrong with white sugar? Okay, yes, it is a part that comes from sugar cane, but what makes it white is bleaching it with sulfur. Okay, which is, our body was never made to digest any kind of chemicals. Okay, that's why white sugar is a complete no-no, and apparently, white sugar drops your immunity immensely, and it is as addictive as any other drug. There are a lot of things that go around saying that white sugar is as or worse than cocaine because it gets you high too soon, and that's the reason you crave for something sweet too much. But when we're talking about plant-based baking, in plant-based baking also there are categories. There is plant-based baking, and then there is whole food plant-based, and then there is raw vegan. Being a raw vegan or whole food plant-based consumes sweeteners like dates, raisins, apricots, which are really naturally present. But otherwise, a step below would be coconut sugar or jaggery, because you're at least not consuming empty calories, but it has some amount of minerals, but not zero nutrition. And then coming to any kind of milk in conventional baking, people tend to use animal milk. Okay, a lot of milk, curd, yogurt is used. But when we're considering plant-based baking, we're using nut milks coming from almond, soya, rice, sunflower, oats, right? So automatically the fat content that you're consuming goes low. And from the nutrition aspect, conventional baking, it is calorie dense, mostly carbs and fats. Okay. And when we're talking about plant-based baking, it is calorie dense. I wouldn't say that, plant-based food is less on calories. It might be equivalent to any other kind of food, but you're getting a lot of nutrition as well. Okay. When you're consuming calories, you want to intake some great nutrition too. Next slide, Ishita. Okay, so another question that people might not know too much and is frequently asked is basically, what is gluten? Okay, is gluten bad for health? Okay, so gluten is basically a component, a protein component that is found in wheat, barley, or rye. Primarily, these are the only 3 grains that have gluten as a protein component. Now, is it bad? Now depends on your consumption and how much. You can't overdo gluten, because gluten, once it reaches your intestines, it activates an enzyme that begins to rupture the intestinal walls. Gluten in limited quantity is perfectly fine, but if you're overdoing it, the problem is there. It leads to a leaky gut and a lot of autoimmune diseases, right? So basically, gluten is a protein component found in wheat, rye, and barley. All the other flours are considered gluten-free by nature unless and until there isn't any cross-contamination. Oats, maize, rice, sorghum, bajra, nut flours, starches, all of those are considered gluten-free. Like I said, is going gluten-free healthier? Most of us have severe allergies or autoimmune diseases, indigestion caused by gluten. Most of us aren't aware of it. A gluten allergy test could help you determine it. But considering the calorie weight, gluten-free flours, grains have equal or more calories as grains with gluten. So the choice is between what makes you feel good from the inside. So, it's always good to strike a balance of eating wheat, rye, barley, and the other gluten-free grains to have a healthy gut and not like overdo anything. Right? The next, Ishta? Okay, yeah. So talking is anyway easier. So guys, coming here, my whole purpose was that, me along with WellCure, we have curated 2 e-learning courses. One course is completely dedicated to 100% whole wheat baking. Another is 100% gluten-free baking. And these are basic breads. I know a lot of you here might be housewives, home bakers, professionally baking, or you want to bake it for your family, considering you want healthier options going out of your kitchen, right? So we have 2 courses, and today we have, I will be sharing a demo of one of the recipes and the content that is there in these courses to see if that, if there's something that you can really relate to, right? So the whole idea is to consume whole grains. These are completely free from maida. We are not using any kind of butter. We're not using any kind of animal sourced ingredient, okay? And these are super simple to make, and it gives the best results. And I have extensively worked for months together to curate these recipes so that, when you are trying, it eliminates a lot of your trial runs, okay? And all the recipes that are shared is by grams, by weight, not by cups. So that, because this is a digital platform and it is easy for you all to follow. So Ishita, you can share about the 100% whole wheat first.
So now we're making a crusty French bucket. It is one of the super versatile breads. Cut it into half-inch rounds. Use it as the base for your crostini or bruschetta. Eat it with your favorite party dip. Eat it with a bowl of pasta or a warm bowl of soup. It is just so satisfying. Made with just 4 simple ingredients: flour, water, salt and yeast. That's about it. It is a super simple recipe, so let's dive into it. So in a bowl, take warm water. Add your yeast into it and let it sit for about 2 minutes. Let it dissolve. Meanwhile, in another bowl, we're going to sieve our 100% whole wheat flour and the salt. Always make sure you sieve your whole grains. It just gives a lighter texture to your bread. Right. We're going to keep this aside. We'll wait for our yeast to dissolve. Our yeast is dissolved. You can use a whisk to break the lumps. Make a well in the center of the flour. We're going to add our yeast and water mix into it, and we'll begin to knead and get everything together. There's not much kneading required because this is more like an artisanal loaf that we'll be doing. Just mix it well, and then we can do stretch and folds for strengthening the gluten. So if you realize, we do not use any fat in buckets. So it's a 100% oil-free, fat-free bread. That's what gives it the crusty and the chewy texture. As we begin to mix, in case if you need some more water, a tablespoon or two, you can add. You have to mix it till you see no dry flour anymore. We need a stiff dough. It is not a soft dough. So if you need a tablespoon or two of water, you can add. You don't want to see any dry flour. Don't make the dough too soft. Right, so this is what we have, and now we'll begin kneading it. Now how would you manually knead a dough is, hold it, start rubbing it and get it back. Change the side, push it, get it back, and the pressure is just from your palm. Turn it, rub it, get it back. Turn, rub, get it back, and that's how you'll keep doing this till the dough comes together and doesn't break too much. So you can use a KitchenAid for this if you have one, but this is how you would be kneading otherwise. So roughly get it together. Might take about 5 to 7 minutes of kneading. So make sure how you're kneading is exactly this. With the pressure of your palm, you're just gonna push it and get it back. Do not like rub it, because the gluten is not strengthening that way. You're breaking the gluten. So push it and get it back. Push it and get it back. So once your dough is come together, we are going to place it in a greased bowl. Use a wet cloth to cover it, and we're going to keep this to rest and to rise for about 1.5 to 2 hours or till doubles, and then we'll get back to it. So our dough for the baguettes has been resting for about 1.5 hours. So this is what it looks like. It's risen well. So at this point, what we're going to do is punch it, get it together, get it on a countertop, and we will portion them equally. Now the shaping, just press it down into a rectangular, just roll it to the center, the other side goes on top, and press this, pinch the seam to seal it, and now just roll it oblong to the length of your choice. Ideally, the diameter of this is 5 to 6 centimeters, and the length you can decide anywhere between 56 centimeter to 1 meter too. And if you want to make mini baguettes, so even about a 12 inch is good. Just pinch the sides and shape it well. So this is what we have. We're going to keep this, go to the next. Always pinch the seam, and with firm yet gentle hands, just roll it into a thin long log. It'll at least double in size, so keep that in mind when you decide the length. Take a baking tray take a kitchen towel, dust it with flour, and place these equidistant, folding between the cloth parallelly. So this is how you're going to be able to shape it. You really don't need a special tray for this. We are going to rest this for about 30 minutes before we bake this. So once this is done, you're going to use a wet cloth to cover this and let it rise for 30 minutes or till doubles. So our baguettes have been resting for close to 30 minutes and they are well risen. So this is what they look like. I'm going to transfer these on the baking tray. Just space it according to the size of your baking tray. So these are well risen, transferred on the baking tray. Make sure while transferring you do not puncture out the air. And now we're going to dust this with the flour. So this is what's going to give you that artisanal look. So after you've dusted them, you're going to score them to anything of your choice. However, one straight line or 3 parallel lines. So we score so that when the bread expands, it expands through these cuts, and that's what gives it a more rustic look. So we are going to bake this in a preheated oven for about 35 to 40 minutes or longer if required. So here are our crusty French baguettes. So we let them cool for at least an hour before we slice them.
So yes, so guys, this is like one of the recipes that we have covered, but we have all together. Ishita, can you just share the entire list of the breads that we have covered? So we have everything from the scratch, the bread loaf, buns, pav buns, kulchas, pizza base, yeah, bagels, calzone, focaccia, garlic bread, pita pockets, everything basic that you can ever think of to be covered. And with these recipes, you can curate many more recipes once you have got the technique right. Okay, and everything is by weight so that you're not going wrong. And along with the breads, we have a section of the spreads where we have close to 10 spreads recipes that are completely plant-based, oil-free as well. Right? So in case you are a baker, home baker, you can use these recipes. You can use the spreads recipes, to have a good menu on your bakery. Right. Yeah. So those are the plant-based spreads. Apple chia jam, cacao hazelnut spread, one of my favorite. Thai peanut sauce, creamy beetroot tahini, carrot hummus, pineapple guacamole, bruschetta dip, dill pesto, garlic cream cheese, roasted bell pepper, all are really basic recipes, but how to make them 100% plant-based, oil-free is what I have covered with the spreads. The recipes with the breads are 100% whole wheat flour. Okay, we are not using any added gluten. We are not using any added maida or any other flour. We're not doing combination of flours. It's just one flour that we're working with to get the recipes right. Right? And then coming to the gluten-free section. Okay. I have one of the recipes that I would love to share with you. That's a zucchini breakfast loaf. Ishta, you can share the video from the gluten-free.
So now we're making a zucchini breakfast loaf. Most of us do have this whole idea about how would we even use zucchini in our breakfast breads. Here is a very simple yet yummy recipe. Let's dive in straight to the recipe. First, I'm going to take flax meal. So these are unsalted, unroasted flax seeds which I've ground into seeds. And to this I'm adding 6 tablespoons of water and keeping aside for about 10 to 15 minutes for it to gelatinize. And now we're going to make our own oat flour. I've taken rolled oats, taking half the quantity of the rolled oats and grinding it into a flour. So this is what we're looking for. And we are making our own almond flour, unroasted, unsalted almonds. Just grind them. Add the almond flour into the bowl. We are adding rest of our dry ingredients into this. The remaining rolled oats, white rice flour. You can replace it to brown rice flour. Potato starch. So potato starch gives a good body to our breads. So in this particular recipe I am using 2 starches, that's potato starch and tapioca starch. You can replace these starches to arrowroot or use any one kind of starch. Baking powder, baking soda, salt. Just give this a good mix. Then coming to the wet ingredients. So in a bowl, I'm going to add grated zucchini. So this is green zucchini. You can add yellow as well. Oil. Sweetener. Apple cider vinegar. And if you wish, you can add some seasonings of your choice, but I highly recommend it. And now, the flax egg. Just give it a nice stir and add it in. Give a mix to your wet ingredients. And now add the dry ingredients into it. And with the help of cut and fold method, mix it in. So this is the method so that you are incorporating air. So it's cut and fold. Cut and fold. So we're going to do this only till all our ingredients have come together. We do not want to overmix, otherwise the bread is going to become very dense. So only till your dry ingredients are well incorporated, you are going to do the cut and fold method. Just be patient and don't go ahead adding water, because zucchini once comes in contact with salt and other ingredients, it starts leaving out its own water. So this is what we're looking for. We have a nice dough. And now take your baking pan and put it in. And even it out. We're going to even out the top. And we're going to bake this at 180 degrees Celsius for about 30 to 35 minutes.
Yes, so that was one of the recipes from the gluten-free breads, but the entire list, what we are covering is Ishita is just going to share. We have, a keto version as well, keto, paleo, um, yeah. So we have sweet and savory, both the loaves. One, obviously, zucchini breakfast loaf, the video was played. Then the zucchini cacao cake, banana walnut loaf, pumpkin keto bread, almond keto bread, lemon loaf cake, quinoa garlic bread, which is a completely whole grain. Masala millet bread is also a whole grain. We're using grains itself to make the bread. Nut and seed bread. This can be made paleo. And again, it's a whole food bread. Sorghum flatbread. This is more like, you can use it as a pizza base or to make any of your wraps, right? And along with these breads, we have a complementary recipe for granola bars and breakfast cereals, where we're covering cacao chili granola, chunky banana bread granola, amaranth nut butter granola, zesty lemon chia bar, coconut cinnamon bars, brownie granola bars. Everything is plant-based. Okay. And the kind of fat, a lot of people ask me what is the kind of fat that I'm using, is mostly cold pressed coconut oil. Second option would be cold pressed sunflower oil. The third would be olive oil. We are not using any cacao butter. I have got this question because, that's what eventually makes the entire product very expensive, using ingredients like those. We are not using cacao butter in any of our recipes. It's primarily the cold pressed coconut oil, right? So this is about the 2 e-learning courses that I have curated along with WellCure, and it is available on their website, and they can share all the details. But in case, guys, like you still have questions, though all the questions will be addressed to me from the Google Forms if you've had any. But in any case, if you have questions, still you can reach out to me on Instagram. I'm with the same name, PRIYAVIJAN, Priya Vijayan. And you can any questions with regard to anything that we have covered today, or you want to ask or give your suggestions or opinions, I'm really open to it. Right? So Ishita, yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Priya. So hi, I'm Ankur from the WellCure team. So I will be moderating the questions and also briefly share, although Priya has covered about the recipe, but I'll just quickly share about what is the course offer. And just to add to, this is not just a recipe course. We have covered in terms of almost, the content also has, recipe ebooks and a Q&A support. So, a lot of people feel that, okay, these days YouTube, internet is there. Although most of these recipes you will not find in the Indian context on YouTube. Yes, there could be some international recipes, but those combination other things don't work sometimes in our case because our ingredients and our things are different. And even further that it is more all plant-based, so it's a vegan and a gluten-free baking. So so one, you will not find that content on YouTube, and obviously there'll be no ads to bother you, and most importantly you get hands-on support from Priya for all your queries. So through our e-learning platform, which can be accessed on both mobile as well as in a laptop, you can put in your queries, and Priya answers those queries from from her side to make sure that none of your queries go unanswered. There could be queries about substitution of ingredient, or if there is baking time, or maybe in your weather some of the things are not working. So because we understand that it's not just video or probably the text recipes, which is definitely useful. And we have made those videos in a manner that you get the full explanation. But still, there are things that when you try, you make a mistake or you're not able to get the final thing to your satisfaction. So in that case, Priya is there to support you. You get, additionally, you get recipe ebooks, and a 1 year, access is there to the programs. Plus you get, once you complete the program, you also get certificate of participation. So now, in terms of what could be the, can you have a slide on the gluten-free course also, Ishita? Yeah, move on. Yeah, this we have covered. Yeah. So, okay, let me just share the offer of the course. So the actual price is, 1200, 1214, 1250 for both of them. And we are running a special, offer towards the year end. So the offer price for course individually is 868 and 874. And if you buy both the programs, actually they're almost, I would say that's not only both, they're almost 4 programs, because one is the breads, then spreads, and then gluten-free bakes and granola. So it actually makes it a 4-course bundle, not just a 2-course bundle. And you're getting it a very attractive price, which is currently applicable for next few days only at 1679. So as we're speaking, my team will put the links also in the chat box for you to click and buy. And then we'll be taking up the questions. So in terms of many people are also asking Priya that these recipes may sound very fancy, because some of these things they would have probably eaten at a very premium bakery or at a 5-star setup. Is it really possible to make those things at home really? So can you share your perspective how you design those recipes, because you yourself is a home baker, and so it'll help, I think, you people.
Yeah. Right. So like Ankush said, that a lot of people ask that, if you're getting all this at such a premium price at a restaurant or a cafe, like why are we selling it at this price? So the whole idea is not just sharing the recipes, but to make the entire plant-based lifestyle, a vegan lifestyle, more affordable, because people have this entire perception that plant-based and vegan lifestyle is pretty expensive. It is not expensive, but it's just that, since the demand of a lot of ingredients hasn't been there, but eventually in the last couple of months and in a year, as the demand goes up, the supplies goes up, like how the economics works, the prices of ingredients eventually come down. You don't have to buy like really expensive ingredients to eat clean. It is just about basic simple ingredients. But yes, I agree to the fact that lots of nuts, seeds by default are expensive, but you are eliminating a lot of bad cholesterol that comes from dairy or any other animal source. Okay. I believe is, when you're eating clean food, a lot of your hospital bills are automatically taken care of. When this is something from a personal perspective that I'm sharing, that within like days we are ready to pool a lot of money to pay our hospital bills. But when we have to eat clean food, we think a lot. The whole idea is to change that perception, that if you can invest in your health and good food, all that will automatically be taken care of, because that won't come primarily into picture. Right? I have reversed. I was on literally oral medicines for 20 years. And once I got off that medication, today, I guess I have done the best thing by completely reversing, changing my diet, eating more cleaner food, At least I don't have to see doctors for like really, really, really long. Touch wood, no one should. Okay, the whole idea is by having a plant-based diet, you can reverse a lot of your lifestyle diseases like, you know, obesity, diabetes, hypertension. All these are lifestyle diseases that we create ourselves. When people say कि ये हमारी family में, this is hereditary, no, only 23% of your DNA can be mutated. The rest, 7%, 76% is completely in your hand, that how you create your lifestyle around it. Okay. And you know, a lot of people tend to ask, dairy is something हम बचपन से खाते आए हैं, अभी क्यों problem है उस चीज से? The problem is, you know, when our nani dadi used to consume dairy, okay, it was really clean. The animals weren't injected, they weren't artificially inseminated to lactate more. You know, the hormones that they create because of those medications affect us when we consume it. Okay, there are a lot of hormonal imbalances just because of that. And the same thing with the meat. You know, people eat goat, they eat hen. These are animals that consume plants. Okay, how is that we are able to consume other mammal or other animals' meat to gain strength? The whole idea is to eliminate that chain where, you know, a lot of hormones are imbibed into our body from these sources which are not required by humans. Okay, so the whole idea is to eliminate a animal sourced ingredient chain and eat directly from the plants. And do we get enough nutrition? Of course, the whole idea is to eat a variety of food, not just stick to one or two kind of food that will be your staple. Don't just say that hum roti chawal khate hain. All through our life, we're just eating roti chawal and not even exploring the other grains, because every food has, you know, basic nutrition of its own to offer. So the whole idea is to eat variety of food. This is my humble try to share my food with you, because breads are something that all of us tend to consume. Okay, and these are recipes that I widely use. I share out everything that I try. Apart from these, I have a lot of courses that are there with WellCure on their website. It is legit everything that I eat, and I have seen people get better with this kind of food. Okay, the core of your diet has to be whole food, plant-based, where you're eating really clean food to reverse all these ailments. Breads is a part of it. Okay, so it's a humble try that I can get these recipes to you all at the comfort of your house. A lot of people from 2-tier, 3-tier cities reach out because, you know, they are not, they do not have access to such a content. And I guess pandemic has given this as a blessing, that happen to curate these recipes and share it with y'all. And yes, when you sell it, obviously, you know, things are sold as at a premium price because of how the ingredients are. But as and when you go further, you find better resources for yourself. Okay, all these things become easy to source and at a reasonable rate.
So, Priya, just one query that these recipes which you have tried and tested, does anyone need special equipment, or these ingredients? So, or they are available, the ingredients and the techniques, are they manageable for someone at a home cook who, I think, primary one requirement, essential requirement will obviously be an OTG. Is there anything other thing which you feel, or it's something which is manageable by a simple home cook?
Yeah, so guys, I work from a home kitchen. Okay, my kitchen is set up at my place where I'm currently. Everything I have been doing from a home kitchen with a normal oven. Okay, this is not like a professional oven that I use. When I'm coming to 100% whole wheat, there is nothing more than maximum 5 ingredients in the entire recipe. One would be, of course, your 100% whole wheat flour, salt, sweetener, yeast, and oil. These are the only 5 ingredients with different ratios and different techniques that are being used. Rest, you just need your oven. There is no special equipment. If you have a food processor or a KitchenAid, you can use that. But otherwise, you can knead this manually. There is a wait time when it comes to 100% whole wheat, which are yeasted breads, which need a rise. But when you're coming to gluten-free baking, the recipes, the technique is fairly simple. It's just that the baking time is slightly longer versus the 100% whole wheat. The mixing is very quick if you have the ingredients in hand. There is nothing much you really have to worry. But when coming to gluten-free baking, just because there are a lot of grains which we do not consume in our daily routine, like millets. I never consumed millets till 3 years ago. It was like once in a while luxury kind of thing. Okay. Zucchini was, again, those zucchini, now it's there at every hyper store, every supermarket that we go. Okay, I've incorporated zucchini as one of the ingredient in 2 recipes. And chia is a great source of omega-3 as a vegetarian, and I have used that. There are a couple of ingredients that we know of, like psyllium husk. Okay, psyllium husk is basically isabgol that is widely used in gluten-free baking. So these are ingredients which we know, but we do not consume. That's where you might feel a little glitch of, कि हम ये तो use नहीं करते, हम क्यों ले? But once you get into the depth of these recipes and see how nutritious they are and they taste really good, I promise you that, and they're easy to make. And ideally, because, getting all this at such a price, I'm sure, these recipes aren't really available everywhere, but if they are, they might not work for you depending on the flours that are available in the Indian market. Okay, all these recipes are worked around what is readily available in the Indian market, and the entire source list has also been shared in the PDF, basically what brands you can use, and everything is available on Amazon. Right? So this is a completely
Thanks.
completely like on a very reasonable price. We are giving all these recipes, but yes, a lot of research has gone, a lot of trial error has gone behind these recipes to give you like clear cut solutions to get the recipe right.
Thanks, Priya. I think what a very explanatory answer. So just to summarize that what Priya is saying, you don't need a lot of ingredients, because the vegan or plant-based or healthy baking is all about minimizing the use of ingredients and also refined ingredients, as well as very, very minimally used. At few places, probably oil may have been, used. And each and every recipe have been tried multiple times to make sure a beginner can also make these recipes, and that's how she has crafted those videos. And as I said, that it's not only that, she's always there to handhold you for where you get stuck. So now I'll take up the few questions. Few have already been answered by you. So I think there's some question, but I'm starting a cloud kitchen, want to start baking as my offering. So yeah, so this course will be definitely relevant, as well as other courses from Priya. We'll share that link, and you can go through them. Then there is a few questions about sourdough. So we have done 3-4 batches of sourdough program with Priya. I think recently we had a month back or so, last batch was done. So because sourdough, we found that it requires a lot of hand holding, and it has a specific process. So we do a live program on sourdough, and hopefully next few months we will have another batch. So please register yourself for that, because probably e-learning may not be the right format for that program. Then there is a question on which type of yeast do you use? So can you answer that question?
Yeah, we're using instant yeast, guys, in all the recipes. Dry yeast can be used, but instant yeast is easier to get quick results.
Okay. Then there is a question by Poonam. She's asking that in first recipe, we don't have to mix sugar with yeast in order to feed yeast, as no oil
No.
and butter won't make bread hard.
So basically, buckets are supposed to be fat-free breads, okay, by nature, like by science, and whatever is recipes that have come up with, buckets are supposed to be fat-free. So we are adding yeast directly, and they're supposed to be, slightly chewy breads. But like I said, that these are base recipes. You can create many more recipes. You can add a little bit of your fat and make it more soft, chewy. So that's what I said. I'm giving you base. From this, create how much ever you can. If I'm sharing 12 recipes, you can easily come up with variations. At least with one recipe, you can create 2 variations a minimum.
And in second recipe, you have not used any yeast. Is that correct?
Yes.
The
So in
zucchini loaf.
gluten-free baking, the recipes that I have covered, we do not need yeast. The recipes specifically that I've covered, gluten-free breads aren't too like, they don't rise too much, like how your 100% whole wheat does. Okay. These are denser flours and these are denser breads. So these are
Okay.
more of a cakey kind of textured breads.
Okay, okay. And the yeast, there's a question that how can yeast be activated without sugar? So is that the
So,
case in?
okay. Yeah. So ideally, yes. How it is activated without sugar? See, sugar is nothing but glucose, right? Glucose starches are actively present in flours, right? If you're taking 100% whole wheat flour, there is a carbohydrate content in it, okay, which is sugar, nothing but sugar, okay? The yeast feeds on the starches, on the sugars from the carbohydrates to give the rise. Okay, this is what happens in sourdoughs also. Okay, we use natural yeast. It feeds on the starches that are naturally present in the flour. So specifically speaking about the buckets, that's how it's done. It feeds
Okay.
on the starches that is naturally present in the flour.
Okay, great. Then there is question, do you teach plant-based desserts? Yes, in the program, we have the granola section where you can see, it's all plant-based granola bars have been covered. In addition to that, a few more programs which have been done, live, and their recordings are available. So we'll share the link and you can explore those programs. For any offline or any program related or any queries related to offline thing, you can contact her on our Instagram and she'll answer. Then I think we'll have one more last question by Seema. Which oven is best? Can you please suggest?
So Seema, I have been using Morphy Richard on a home ground. Okay, and Morphy Richard hasn't really given up on me in last 10 years. So this is the only brand that I have personally used. I've not switched to any other brand. So with Morphy Richard, I can kind of vouch that it is worked pretty good. And the whole idea is to work on your after sales service, and it's pretty good as well. So yeah.
Okay, okay. So I think we have covered the questions, and if there are any more queries, we'll just open the chat, for a few minutes. If there are any queries related to, program, any links and other things which have been already, pasted in the chat, you can see. We'll be happy to answer the queries, and then in a couple of minutes, then we will be closing the session. So just to summarize in the meanwhile, if there's any queries, please ask. So first thing is, we covered all about plant-based baking, and then how it is good, how it is different from regular baking. And then we covered two recipes, one gluten-free and one with gluten. And Then we have covered details about the course, the 2 programs. In fact, there are 4 programs packaged in 2 programs. One is breads and spreads program, and the second one is gluten-free vegan bakes and granola e-learning. And the special price, which is only applicable for next 3 days, that is 868 for breads and spreads, 874 for gluten-free, and the combo at 1679. And so that is there. So let me just and you know all these recipes are, you have access for 1 year. It's a self-paced program with live Q&A support. Priya answers almost every day. Any questions you have, again, any recipe or anything in the program. The program is not just about recipes, but there is a special section about the equipment in depth. She has gone equipment and other aspects of baking, which requires more explanation. So I think, which brand of yeast do you use? Can you share?
It's actually the recipes that I'm covering with 100% whole wheat. I have shared the entire PDF links
Okay.
with the brands. So
Okay.
if
Okay.
you're buying the course, it's available there. Yeah.
Okay. And is there any alternative to yeast? I think, yeah.
So ideally with the 100% whole wheat bread recipes, no, these are yeasted breads specifically. And I have worked with organic whole wheat flour specifically. And I would still, I would suggest that stick to exactly what, there's one entire, frequently asked question list on with every PDF of the course. Just tick, because there are a lot of things that cannot be swapped very clearly, which I have written in the recipe. So if you're going to make any changes in the recipes, I might not be able to help you, because already I have given you a plethora of recipes which are like on point. Okay, any variations that you do thereon, I can't guarantee the results.
Sure. And so I think there is some question related to gluten-free. So yeah, gluten-free is something which is becoming a big a market, and a lot of people, either due to sensitivity or due to the health benefits, they are going for this. So in that case, it will be useful. We'll share the recording of the session regarding weighing machine. Yes, you can use a small weighing machine, but we've covered. Yeah, right now, I don't know. In the gluten-free, we have covered ragi, jowar, bajra breads. Is that correct? Okay, no.
We
Okay,
just have jawar as a flatbread, but they aren't primary.
okay. But I think people who have no wheat, there are a lot of options on the gluten-free, breads, and there is one specifically for millets as well. I think that's it. There is one last question. Can we use boiled potatoes in place of starches?
No, the recipe might not work that way.
Okay.
See, that's what I said, that, I have curated these recipes and given you swaps in the PDF itself wherever you can, but ideally boiled potatoes cannot be used, or especially for the recipes that I have covered, no, you can't swap.
Okay, thanks. So I think one last question, I'll answer this. Will you be teaching only wheat breads? No, there are 2 programs. The breads and spreads. The breads one has yes, wheat-based recipes, and the gluten-free doesn't have any wheat-based recipes. So that's it. So thanks a lot, Priya, for today's session and to very interesting recipes. We'll be sharing the recording link with you all. But more importantly, if you want to really make your journey on vegan baking or healthy baking, and try out some exciting new recipes as part of your New Year celebration, as I understand, and due to these times, many people may not be able to go out. So a lot of people may be actually doing a lot of home baking, and there are so many good simple recipes, spreads or breads, or granolas, those can be tried. There are still, 4 days. I'm sure you can buy it today itself, and you'll get an immediate access, and you can start your journey today. So don't miss this opportunity, because from next year we will be definitely increasing some of our prices. But this is an year-end, being offered as a part of a year-end sale. So Sanj, we have already shared the course, recipes. You can watch the recording, and we'll share the link also, where again the recipe will be there. Yes, these have been specifically properly recorded, pre-recorded sessions, but the questions and support will be provided through live support. So whatever your queries come up, Priya answers those from the back.
Yeah, and guys, just in case, yes, how would I answer that? This was another question a lot of people asked me. So in the recordings itself on the e-learning app, you have a space to write up your queries, which
Yes.
I will answer. But just in case you feel that you are stuck right in between, you can certainly get in touch with me on Instagram, and I'm pretty active there. So there is no way that I'm going to miss out your messages. The e-learning might take like a couple of days before I answer, though I try to be ASAP, but Instagram is another way you can get in touch with me, right?
That's great. That's great. So thanks a lot, and wish you everyone a very happy and healthy new year. And we hope that you start your journey of healthy baking with Priya. Uh, thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Take care and have a great year.